because consider, like you said, the vulnerability that it takes in that moment for the person to come up with what they hope are the right words to address something with you that has, I'm sure, been bothering them for years. But they have sacrificed and settled to live their people pleasing perspective that they had been in.
Mm-hmm.
And once they make a change to finally support themselves,
Mm-hmm.
if you respond in a way that is like defensive,
Mm-hmm.
imagine how that would make them feel.
Right.
Like they're of all these years, they've not said something to you about this thing. They finally have this strength or the confidence, whatever they needed,
Mm-hmm.
to be able to bring that to your attention. And then the first thing that you say is, "Well, I've done it all this time."
Right.
Yeah. And
Right.
I haven't said anything to you all this time.
And it's annoyed me all this time, or
Yeah,
whatever.
and you're not even acknowledging the fact.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that fact. You're not even acknowledging that.
Right. Right. You're giving that no acknowledgement. You've just gone into whatever it is you want to think, feel, or say about it, not even giving any time to acknowledge what that person, a person who you claim to care about and obviously cares about you, to have put it to the side all of this time.
Mm-hmm.
You're not taking any time to consider what it is they may be thinking or have been feeling the entire time.
Right. Right. And I think this is actually a great segue into regarding like communication in difficult conversations, and how we have an opportunity to choose perspective in our response to things. And there's a beautiful young lady that she reminds me to boundary up. I love her, but her video, I believe, will be very supportive. Yeah, to the left. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And because she's talking about communication, as we were just talking about here, and we were talking about difficult conversations. So I feel like this will be a good one to watch, and then we'll chat.
Absolutely. All right, let's take a look.
You know what's exhausting? All the explaining and justifying you have to do just to get the bare minimum in an unbalanced relationship of any kind. If that's where you are, it may be time to ask a few questions. Here are a few. Why do you think your needs should come before mine, even at my expense? Why do you believe your needs should take priority over my well-being? What makes you feel entitled to my sacrifice when it causes me harm? Can you help me understand why you expect me to put myself last even when it's damaging to me? Why do you believe my needs matter less than yours even when I'm struggling? What leads you to think it's okay to prioritize your wants over my boundaries? Why is it acceptable to you that I sacrifice my happiness to meet your expectations, or okay to constantly put your needs ahead of mine when it's hurting me? What makes you assume I should compromise my needs for yours, regardless of the impact? See, if the response to asking why you should hurt yourself to keep them comfortable only equals more of them making you feel uncomfortable, that is their status quo. It's not changing, but you can. Try this. I've realized I can't keep sacrificing myself to meet your expectations. From now on, I'll be making decisions that reflect what's healthiest for me, not just what works for you. I'm choosing to honor my needs first, even if that disappoints you. These questions are okay to ask, and these boundaries are okay to state. Boundary up. I hope this helps.
Boundary up, right?
Yep.
Set your boundaries. And being honest with people is a part of your own personal growth. You're getting stuff off of you're not holding stuff in, because again, if you think about it, if you're lying to somebody, you got to hold on to that. You got to keep that lie going anytime you're around that person. You got to keep that lie going around other people who might know that person. But if you're honest with the person, you just get to authentically be yourself, your honest, radically honest self the entire time. And people know where your boundaries are. all of that stuff, it's nothing they can actually have a question about because you're being radically honest all the time. You're putting it all right there on the table for them.
Yeah. And it's important for us to be in relationships with people that are willing to have the difficult conversations. The importance of that is so, I find it lost on a lot of folks now. And there seems to be like just an entitlement to relationship or with relationship, like just because.
What do you mean by that?
Like just because we have a certain title, or just because we've known one another for so long. Like say if you're my brother or you're my cousin.
Gotcha.
Or
you're talking about just relationship in general,
yes.
not couple relationship, but
Correct.
all relationships we're talking about
Correct.
now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not just romantic relationships. Yes. But just in general.
Absolutely. Yeah. There's definitely a lot of entitlement mentality out there. And again, a lot of that may come from people not being radically honest with those people who have those titles, brother, sister, mother, father, cousin, uncle, aunt, whatever the title is that by blood or some other form of relation has been put on them, and they feel like that title holds them in some kind of higher regard than any other person. Just because a person has a title like that doesn't mean they get to treat you in any kind of other way than anybody else in this world. They don't get to disrespect you. They don't get to do any of that stuff with you. No. I mean, truth be told, I have coworkers that I'm probably closer with. What? No, not probably. Remove the word probably. I have coworkers that I'm absolutely closer with than family members, blood family. But I have coworkers that I would do a whole lot more for than certain blood family members. So those titles mean absolutely nothing. I know these coworkers. I can be radically honest with them. They can be radically honest with me. And at the end of the day, we still going to have the same type of feeling about one another, whether we love one another in that type of way, whether we, appreciate one another, whatever the thing is, we're being honest with one another. We don't have a reason to lie to one another. So there's some family members out here who can kick rocks.
See, and you ought not to feel like you have a reason to lie to your family either. It's unfortunate, the unhealthy disconnect that has seemingly come in family dynamics over the really, I guess, the past couple of generations, or from our parents.
I mean, but is that true? It may have always been. I don't know, because we weren't alive for some of those generations. We don't know the dysfunctions that they had, and maybe it just wasn't as prevalent.
Shoot, nah, now.
Yeah, they had dysfunction.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They had dysfunction back then, and, they was doing all types of stuff. They just, maybe it wasn't as prevalent. I mean, they didn't have social media. You could keep the stuff within your little house. I mean, you think about back then, hell, if they were beating their wife and kids, nobody else out in the world would know. And hell, the family would do everything they could to hide it.
Or it was so the norm that it was just, you try to give her some sunglasses to wear,
that's what I'm
saying. A hat to cover it up, or give her some gloves or something. It was just...
So with things like that being more so the norm back then and not seen as dysfunction, it was happening. Yeah, but, today we view all these things as that's dysfunction. And, women are in a position now where they don't have to put up with it because they don't have to rely on a man to have a house. Back then they couldn't even get their own house and stuff.
Right. Or checking account.
Right. They couldn't get bank accounts. But now they don't have to rely on that. So they don't have to put up with it, know. So, but yeah, the dysfunction that comes with that stuff. I'm sorry. We're too grown. We have been together building our thing for, again, we've been married over 20 years now, over 24 years now. We dated before that. So we've been building our communication, our bond, and all of the stuff that we're working on today for a long time. And we together, and again, this has been a work, but we together are basically just too grown and at a place where we ain't got time for people to be lying to us, and we ain't got time to be dealing with people who are lying to us. We don't need those people to have the things that we have. We're building it together.
Right.
If all those people disappear, we still are going to be building the stuff we're building together.
Yep.
You know, so we don't have time for their lies or any of that nonsense, really, you know.
And don't even need that bad energy.
Oh, not at all.
Don't want it, don't need it. We don't accept it. Any of those things.